Well, hello, my beautiful people. I'm not dead. Although, man, didn't I kind of feel like it a bit over the past week? It was the illness, cold, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. That just wouldn't go away, kept evolving, and made it very, very difficult for me to talk for more than like 2 minutes at a time, let alone 20, 30 minutes, however long this may end up being. But I'm not dead yet. This series is not dead yet. Never say never. It'll end eventually, but my plan is it will not end until we accomplish our goal, of course, of winning a title in this bizarre world, of course, that has been created on just the weirdest fluke and whim. And like, what are we like? Seriously, every time I come back to this save, I'm like, what the hell? Why? But we have 4 teams from Seattle. It's just so weird, man. But I like it. I like just how weird and different this particular challenge is going to be. I do have our lines and everything set up, ready to go for another season. We're not going to be anywhere near the playoffs. But you might notice a couple of familiar faces down there at the bottom I saw on the free agent list. But this team right now is still very much highlighted in the early stages by Ethan Belchetz. Of course, Pete Walters, who we were able to draft 2nd overall this past year, and Magnus Lundberg. So Lundberg's still there. We got Grayson Colborn. I mean, really not expecting much out of him, of course. Pekka Salonen, who we took in the last draft, which it's tough, right? There's an argument about whether or not a player like this will develop better at the NHL level or the AHL level. We always have that argument in a challenge series like this, but I do like to try to get these rosters to be fully our prospects as soon as possible, which is why I'm running a defenseman at forward. But yeah, the sooner we can get rid of like Christoph Kromp, which is a great name, the better. And we really should be 1 draft away, maybe 2. The defense is fully ours, of course. A lot of medium 4s in the mix, which, you know, it's been a long time since that was a great potential to have in these games. Ended up going with Harenstam and Deno, mainly because I want Buckley to be the AHL starter. And we'll kind of test out that theory of whether or not the AHL time will help somebody develop a little bit more quickly. But, I mean, Buckley at most is like 2 years out from being kind of at that caliber that we want him to be at. But, yeah, we are going to be very, very, very bad this season, aren't we? My God, we're going to be bad. Oh, we're going to be bad. To the point where I don't even know, based on this whole illness thing, if I can even talk up until something happens. I'll give it until November when we have our little update on certain players, you know, and trying to change player types, positions. The player types, of course, are important because if I can switch someone from power forward to grinder, they might get a couple extra attribute points. But aside from that, it's nothing too crazy. But yeah, aside from that, like we have nothing going on. Like this team is going to be miserable. And speaking of which, Lundberg does not become a grinder. Of course, again, did that say promise succeeded? I'm pretty sure that said it succeeded at the top. Promise succeeded. Okay, well. Oh, you know why? Because it's talking about how the promise to try succeeded earlier, and now it's the follow-up. I got it. I figured it out. Is it still worded the right way? I don't know. Probably not. Spreakin learns how to play right wing. That's good. I don't even know how many of these we have this season. Ethan Belchetz, what do we got going on for you? Learns how to play center. That's good. We need as many people who we could try to train up on face-offs as we could possibly get. Let's see. Brandon Sandlack learned how to play right D. Wasn't he the guy I was playing at forward, right? So he's learning how to play everywhere. And there we go. That's that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in about 2 seconds for y'all. Because yeah, we are going to be bad. Very, very bad. Well, we're not quite to the end of the season. Hopefully there's not some weird cut there either, by the way. I tried something a little bit different in terms of the recording process, but hey, it's fine. We'll figure it out. I'll find out in post. I might even edit it, and it might not be there. It might be fine. I don't know. As expected, we're bad. We are bad. We have managed to win a couple of games, so that's cool. But yeah, this team is just atrocious, of course, which is okay. Which is okay. It's good. We don't want to be too good too quickly. We want our best shot at top 3, top 5 picks as we can get season after season. But there we go. Oh, nope, there we don't go. We need everybody to be on 47 games played. There it is. All right, let's take a look at how this season played out across the league. So, of course, we finished with just 3 wins out of the 47 games played. So Chicago is the only team out of our division to make the playoffs, and they were really the only team that was particularly close, finishing 5 wins ahead of Kansas City. We had Hartford and Buffalo finishing on an identical amount of points. Tiebreaker went to the Whalers, so they made it as the division winner. Central Division, only Albuquerque making it, and again, that wasn't particularly close. And in the West, you had the Honolulu Huskies and the Burnaby Cha-Chings. And the American League side of things, the Florida Panthers make it, and again, just a crazy amount of separation, right? East Division, the Hartford Bambies and the Boston Fleet have both made the playoffs. Central Division, you got Arizona, Salt Lake City just beating out Utah. Both of those teams just beating out the Utah Outlaws by 1 point. Houston was only 5 points back, but that's an incredibly close race. And then in the West, the San Francisco Starfleet by just 2 points. Quite a few teams in the mix there. Then there's the Storm Bears, who were atrocious, despite having Clayton Keller and Shane Wright and Lee Steckline. Wow. Okay, well, the Storm Bears were atrocious. So yeah, the Honolulu, actually, here, let's look from the National League perspective. There is the top 6 to make the playoffs. Buffalo and Burnaby in those wild card spots. And on the other side, the Utah Outlaws are the ones that kind of get shafted. They were a point ahead of the Starfleet, but the Starfleet won their division. That is the difference. Shout out to Honolulu taking home the crown. 35-8-4 is a crazy record. And Seattle, 5 wins more than us. Not a crazy amount. Of course, our goal scoring was atrocious. Our goals against average was way up there. None of that's surprising. But let's take a look at how our boys did here. So, honestly, the top line, not bad. Pete Walters, 38 points in 47 games with 21 goals. Was a minus 35, so we won't win the Calder. Belchet's not too bad. Lundberg, 25 and 47. Interesting that he might be the weak link of the line. Colborne had 23 points. That's not bad. Salonen was 17. And obviously from there, a drop. Shout out to Tactics with 1 point. 1 point more than I had. So there you go. And defensively, not bad from Wotherspoon. Not bad. Not bad at all. About half a point a game. Then you had Dowell over 20 points as well. For the goalies, all 3 wins went to Harenstam. Had an .881 save percentage. That's not atrocious, given, the weird shape of the league and the way this team looks. But man, look at that. William Nylander and Jake Gensel, both of the Burnaby Cha-Chings, eclipsing 100 points, which again is crazy to do in this shortened of a season. McTavish also up there for the Cha-Chings. Alina Muller for Honolulu. Top goal scorer, dude, 71 goals in 47 games is ridiculous. I think I said it before. I don't know. This player has to have a 0 out of 15 on the shot pass. All they have to do is shoot the puck. It's crazy. Then again, they only had 221 shots, which was fewer than William Nylander. Granted, only by 9, but you get the point. You also had Felix Pox up there, Cedric Corey, Austin Matthews, Brady Tkachuk. For the defenders, in fairness, Morgan Riley, Josh Morrissey, each with 60. You had Adam Fox up there, a couple different versions of Quinn Hughes. And for the goals, Cale Makar on 17 for the Toronto Warriors. Goalies winningest Jesper Wallstedt, Devin Levi, and Trey Augustine, all with 26 wins. Let's see, shutout leader was Wallstedt with 4 in 40 games. And save percentage-wise, Kelly Klang was up there, but yeah, Wallstedt for Chicago has to be the Vezina favorite. And for the rookies, Elton Hermansen is going to win the Calder. Pretty straightforward for the 17th overall selection for the Hamilton Wolverines. Again, not bad for Walters to finish second in scoring amongst rookies, but yeah, that minus 35, it just immediately disqualifies him from being considered for the Calder. I mean, unless like the next highest scoring player had like 12 points or something like that, that's probably the only shot he would actually have in winning the Calder. The game factors in plus minus so heavily with that award, and it's kind of annoying because, you know, when you're a rookie on a bad team, you're not supposed to necessarily have a good plus minus. And honestly, while we sim out the rest of this, I want to take a look at Calder Trophy winners. Yeah, so I have it right here through Hockey Reference. When Connor Bedard won the 23-24 Calder Trophy, he was a minus 44. You know? As the Hartford Whalers have won the Stanley Cup, the Atlanta Thrashers the Calder Cup. I always forget that the playoffs are so short. Let's take a look at how that played out. But like Matty Beniers was a plus, Moritz Seider was a minus 9. Like, I guess typically actually looking at it, a good amount of rookies end up finishing with a positive plus minus as opposed to like a negative 35. But yeah, Connor Bedard, man, minus 44, and he won it. So, I mean, you know, I think they need to work on how that's decided in game. But you see Salt Lake City over Arizona, Starfleet beat Boston. Big run to the final for Salt Lake City as a wild card team, beating Hartford by 3 goals, beating San Fran by 3 goals, but then losing the championship game. Again, it is aggregate scoring, you know, 1 home, 1 away, up until the final, which is just 1 game. And the Whalers were able to beat them 6-3 as the Whalers get it done. So, yeah, both number 1 seeds falling in the first round. So, pretty wild turn of events. Unfortunately, the roster might not be totally accurate because it does the end of season call-ups and send-downs. But Slava Zachanov was up there, or the Zakhanov, if you prefer. Leading the way, Kevin Fiala was up over a point a game. Matt Zuccarello, Ray Ferraro. These rosters are so scuffed, man. Every time I get reminded of that, it's the best. Yeah, Josh Morrissey, Jacob Trouba, Winnipeg Jets. Jared Spurgeon on that defense as well. And in goal, John Gibson. And Dmitry Kamzin also played a couple games too. But there you go. Hartford Whalers, your champions this season. So you've seen the Starfleet, Sabres, Warriors, and now the Whalers. So 4 different cup winners in this time. So William Nylander won the Art Ross Trophy. He also won the Hart Trophy. Adam Fox wins the Norris for the 2nd year in a row. Calder does go to Hermansen. No surprise there. Conn Smythe to Zachanov, which again isn't surprising. Wallstedt wins the Vezina. Again, not surprising there either. Of course, we still get a Masterton winner. Whalers coach won the Jack Adams as well. Matty Beniers wins the Selke, Nylander the Ted Lindsay Award, and Vesey the Rocket Richard. AHL, Brett Harrison put up the most points. Good job, Brett, for Sparta Praha. He's also league MVP. Connor Walchuk, top goal scorer for Tucson. Laval had the top rookie. And Osborne was the top defenseman who apparently did not play for a team. Okay. Just no logo there at all. And Louis Vara must have played it for the same team. And Barre Boulet must have played for the same team. But given that Barre Boulet, it must be, I was going to say, it must be Atlanta. Either it's really... No, that logo is just not there. I'm like sitting here squinting at the damn logo. That is so weird. that for like the AHL, it's not showing. You know what? I'm not going to question it. It's an EA game. Not going to question it. It just is what it is. But in terms of player development this year, I mean, some good improvement for Lundberg, Walters. I mean, you can see all the green there. It's pretty decent. Yeah, Buckley gets better, but only goes to a 68. He actually did not improve by as much as I thought he would. In the system, obviously, we still have a bunch of dudes there that we don't necessarily care about. But, all right, so the big question, as is always the case, is the draft. And I actually haven't looked at the draft board yet. And I still haven't because I hit the wrong damn button. Draft class this year. Okay. So nobody top 5, but we should be good to go to get Liam Pugh. Because we'll have the top odds. We're not going to fall that far out. So we do at least have somebody. We wouldn't be able to risk it for Spellquist or McKenna. Charpentier, he's undersized for like what a power forward would be. We got our guy. Pretty straightforward. We're not going to go for Kalis. Okay, well, that takes away some of the drama of the draft, but that is okay. Honestly, it's kind of nice to not have to worry about it or be concerned about anything, really. We fall to the 3rd overall pick. Edmonton and Columbus, both big lottery winners. But thankfully, that does not make us big-time lottery losers, given the circumstances. So Ovechkin retires with over 1,000 goals, of course. Kopitar, Burns, 2 different versions of David Perron. Defensively, a couple of Kulikovs are gone. Yeah, that sounds about right. And for the goalies, Fleury's gone. Jonathan Quick, Peter Mrazek. How many duplicates did we have retire? A couple Cam Atkinsons, a couple of Bogosians. Okay, quite a few Ian Coles. Okay. At least we're slowly getting rid of the duplicates. Ovi becomes a coach. We'll have to consider that. But to the draft we go. And, Columbus Heat at the 1st overall pick. They take DeRosier. And Schultz is off to Edmonton. So we already know who we're taking, right? It is the Canadian from the Vancouver Giants, Liam Pugh. I mean, listed as right-wing center, which is good. That's what we need. Worried about that skating. But confirmed big tipper. Happy about that. No doubt. He's the guy. 79 overall. Okay. Ooh, big tipper and crease crasher. Honestly, solid. Skating's not as bad as I thought it would be, but yeah, we're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to work on that quite a bit, but yeah, we're not complaining about that pick, to say the least. I do wonder if there was anybody else towards the top of the draft that would have been eligible for us to take outside of Kalis. The answer is no. I mean, yeah, it was a no-brainer. But this next round, this could be a little bit more difficult. Honestly, I'm going to call a timeout already. We're going to have quite a few players that we have to look at here. Let's start off with the goalies. So there's about 4 dudes that we'd want to consider here before our next pick. Leif Oten, who honestly might not be bad. Nolan Hardy, who we don't know enough about. Corey Richter, and Ruben Johansson. We don't know enough about these guys. There's a chance that one of them could be set to be really, really good. I think we're okay. Defensively, oh boy, Nikolai Kovalev. I mean, he is listed as a DFD. 3 years out, Ekholm comparison. That's not too bad. Lorenzo Wyman's not available to us. Yeah, those abilities likely aren't to be intact for Tulipov. What about Grayson Manning? It's just a bit too unpredictable. What do we have for guaranteed known potentials? We really don't, outside of Matthias Schroeder, who can be taken later on. Outside of that, it's a bunch of best guessing, really. Unless we just want to take people and hope for the best. So, I mean, maybe Kovalev here. Right wing side. Hello, Elliot Warner. Why do you gotta be a sniper? Shit, in fairness, some of those defenders that I added, let me double check. Okay, they were all DFDs. Thought I made a mistake. Well, for the right wing side, oh man, none of these player types are lining up for us, unfortunately. That sucks. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. Left wing side. Ooh, low elite power forward. Carson, not projected to be taken until later. 17 years old. He is going to suck in terms of his overall, but in terms of like a long-term project. And there's also Ulf Lindstrom. Not bad. And then likely Rory Ray. Please tell me that's Rob Ray's son. Anybody else here? Medium 9 power forward Alvin Jenkins. Or excuse me, it wasn't Jenkins. It was Petrovich. What about centers? Shot in the dark, Marvin Exelby, son of Garnet. Jamie Conboy. Okay, I mean, there's options, right? More than I thought we would have. So if we look at our board, we need to consider taking Kovalev, Ray, or Mironov right now, because they won't be there next time. So Kirill Mironov, the 18-year-old Russian defenseman. Oops. Grit, passing ability. It's interesting it mentions the passing ability. We don't know much about that. 3 years out, allegedly. Then there is Kovalev. Even younger. I mean, the grades are better for Kovalev. There's no denying it. Or Rory Ray. Also not bad. I think it's Ray or Kovalev. I mean, 3 out of 4, medium 4 for Kovalev. I feel like we need forwards more, but we do need to take the best player possible. And, I mean, Kovalev looks like the best guy possible. Ish. Possibly. Potentially. Maybe. God, it's tough. Let me double check the roster really quickly. We know it's going to be one of those two, right? Or is it? I need to do a little bit of math. Might not be smart. Yeah, I mean, CR. I mean, I guess we do need some more forwards. We at least do have 4 defensemen to try to build around a little bit. But the thing that I need to check is that we have, and it's not going to tell me here, which is a pain in the ass, but that's okay. That's okay. We can make it work. We need to do the math on these next players available, like the guaranteed slam dunks that we don't want to mix, or that we don't want to miss, I should say. So we have pick number 49 here. Next pick up, of course, is going to be about number 96. So we could take Lindstrom there, Schroeder there. Yeah, see, we wouldn't be able to take the risk on Conboy later on. Carson's fine. Take the risk on Conboy. There's Exelby. Basically, I just need to be damn sure. I mean, we're pretty sure about Kovalev, though, right? We're pretty sure. But we have 1. So that'll be round 3, round 4, round 5. So yeah, I need to be certain about like Jamie Conboy. 4 years out. And then X will be about 5 years out. Okay. Let's go for Kovalev here. We'll take a defenseman. Yeah, medium 4, 65 overall. Okay. Made the right choice there. That's a good start. That's a good start. Let's see, you had Atkinson, Yoshimura. Were there any medium elites? Bunch of medium starter goalies. Only way I'm really going to be mad, even if someone was higher overall, is more so with the potential. Outside of the goalie, I feel like we did pretty good. So, not too worried about that. Next up. Not going to go for Trafford on this one. I do want to double check with goalies. Trafford is the last really far up there goalie. There's a couple of them as well, but I can't prioritize the goalies. Can't do it. So, all skaters. And, whoops, not scouting rank. We don't really care about the scouts. God, about time I have to do another challenge where I only care about scout rating. That's gonna murder me. That might be the next one after this. All right, so again, we have the... after this, we have the 145. So... Lindstrom's probably next. It's just Exelby and Conboy. Knutson as well. And then, of course, we can go for Friesen and Carson. God, another guaranteed defender or another guaranteed forward? Technically, we could maybe get both, was the thought. We do got to go for the guarantees. Let's go for Ulf Lindstrom. Take him next. Overager, but he's a 57 medium 6 grinder. That's not bad. And then round number 4. Yeah, Schroeder's still there, so. Yeah, we know we won't get some of these other guys, but let's go for the sure thing. I mean, honestly, like you look at those first 4 picks for the draft, it's really good. But let's go back through round 4 and see if there's anybody that'll make me hate my life. I.e. a medium 6, like Lewis, who is a grinder, but Schroeder's fine. It's pretty much low elite, medium elite. Or like a high 6, something like that, right? That could really kind of disappoint me in the choice of who we drafted. And I gotta be honest, I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're looking very good. Very, very good indeed. Right. So, 5th round here. Yep, there's 2 left. This is where we take Carson. And then Friesen will probably be in the next round. Carson, low elite, 51 overall power forward. You're going straight to the NHL top line. We need to try to brute force that development. Round number 6 is hopefully... Oh, he's gone early. Okay. Who do we have here? You know, Reginald Conacher might be worth the risk because he's 6'5". There's a really good chance he's actually a DFD. And then there's also Jalen Springus. Let's go for Conacher. He's huge. There's a chance he's a DFD. Damn, he's a 2-way. All right, so we're not going to be allowed to use him. That's a shame. Low 4. I mean, that would have been a decent pick. It was definitely worth the risk, though. And then last but not least, like Ulanov. I mean... We look at Central Scouting. There's Jackson Bieksa. I mean, we might as well just go for Jackson Bieksa, right? I mean, if not, just draft somebody who's huge. Phil Pete, son of Steven. He actually might be, though. I've kind of fallen behind it. Cody Manderville, son of Kent, I hope. Honestly, again, that might actually be right. I've fallen behind on just how many freaking NHLers or former NHLers have their kids now draft ready. Like, it wasn't that long ago. Like, Nikolai Kulemin's kid was taken in the OHL draft. It's like, what are we even doing here, man? What are we even doing? If we were to go for somebody huge, it would be old Phil Pete. Every team needs a good Phil. Yeah, you know, fuck it. Phil, come on down. Let's go for Phil. Hey, we did get an enforcer, though. Low bottom 6, 53 overall. I mean, hey, we'll never be upset about drafting an enforcer in this of all series. That was a really, really good draft for us, though. No, like, unbelievable home run steals or anything like that, but just some really, really solid picks. So I am not that upset about that. Harenstam's already in qualified territory. So is Deno. Ruchin's played long enough. Kolomainen's 3 years in. We're going to immediately sign Kovalev. It's either NHL or AHL for him. But that's pretty straightforward. Again, Conacher, we're not going to be allowed to sign because he's a two-way. But Skroder, we can bring him in. And then Piff, Bosch, Hackle. I sound like a freaking Batman cartoon from the 70s. We'll go ahead and let those guys go. We got to sign Pooh. The Pew. Suvanen. The old Suvanen. You were a two-way, so you're definitely gone. Pricer's gone. Lundberg's going to need that first contract. Good old LaBelle. Mauerman can go. Longvida was another two-way that we drafted that we can't take. Ulf Lindstrom immediately gets signed. You know the deal there. And honestly, we're going to sign Pete immediately, too. I don't know if he'll be on the NHL roster. Maybe he will be. And then there's Carson, who, again, probably straight to the NHL just to try to brute force that development. And then Colborn, qualify, and then Wilms is just a filler dude, right? So nothing too crazy there. So if we look at those RFAs, there's actually not that many of them. Harenstam, of course, we have the money to play this the way that we want to. And there's no salary cap anyway, which is great. I could just offer these guys $15 million a year every year, and there's nothing to it. So I'm perfectly okay with that. We'll go the 3.2 for 4 years. That brings him to the end of his expiry status, and then if we decide to let him go, then he ends up going. And then Deno. Honestly, I don't know how many goalies we're going to take. We're just going to do the same. Oh, my God. We are going to do the same damn thing with you up until we might potentially be able to let you go to get some draft picks for Deno. I'm sure it's not going to happen. Honestly, I kind of forgot there was going to be no salary issues in this particular challenge because normally we do have the salary cap on in the draft glory, and eventually we got to make some tough choices. This time, not so much, but also the AI would have had that benefit building their teams for years. And the flip side of that is we're still going to have to make some tough choices in terms of who starts. So, like, at best, it just means down the road, the AHL is probably stacked. Yeah, we'll try to bring back Lundberg for the $7 million. And it also means we're going to want to be careful about some dudes further down the road. Like, you know, you can pretty much guarantee like 5 years in, like LaBelle probably won't be needed in the AHL. Just means we might not immediately sign everybody that we draft. That's about it. Colborn, you're our last one here, buddy. And then we'll probably bring this whole episode to a close because I cannot overdo it on the voice. So pretty straightforward. We'll have to do all the fun nonsense in between videos in terms of all the off-season training and stuff like that. But this team still currently sucks. However, we did have a pretty good draft. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad. You take them both, and there you have the facts of life. That was a TV show 40 years ago. 50? 40. I don't know, it was before my time, but now at least one of you out there feels real old.